Welcome to Veragaya, a podcast where we talk about your consumption habits and our faith in a better future for the planet. I'm Carl Bayangos.
And I'm Thea Reyes. In today's episode, we are diving into a reality that affects all of us overconsumption. We see it everywhere from our social media feeds to our overflowing closets. But we're also exploring a more mindful alternative how choosing pre loved luxury can help us break the cycle of waste while still valuing high quality craftsmanship. To guide us through this, we are joined by a guest who represents a brand that is truly redefining what it means to shop with intention. This business, V-Loved, is centered on the circular economy, the idea that a beautiful piece should be kept in use for as long as possible rather than being thrown away for the next trend.
Our guest has spent 3 years, including the post pandemic, at the heart of the luxury resale industry, witnessing firsthand how our habits have shifted over the years. Representing the mission and the standard of We Loved, please welcome their General Manager, Mr. Nigel Reyes.
Okay, Mr. Nigel, welcome. We are so glad to have you here on Veragaya. So, to start us off on a broader note, you've been in this industry for quite some time now, noting that the business started in early 2023 and which may have changed the way people think of getting a product and where to purchase them. Kasi nung post-pandemic, parang shifted mostly online. And then from where you're standing, what does overconsumption actually look like today? And how have you seen our relationship with product change over the years?
Okay, so first I think yung overconsumption mas naging hyper yung demand, mas na hype yung demand for overconsumption kasi sobrang dali nang bumili ng kahit ano. Unlike before, nung panahon ko, nung when I was in college like you guys, walang Shopee, walang Lazada, walang you have to go to the mall, you have to ride a public jeepney to get to the palengke, ganyan.
True.
Parang may effort to purchase things. Tapos, meron ka talagang intent. So, if there's really a need, you have to take that effort. Unlike ngayon na parang everything is at the tip of your fingertips, kung ano man yung gusto mong maisip, makita mo lang na, ay parang gusto ko to, pero not really thinking it over na parang, basta ka nalang mag-check out. Kasi it's that easy. Pagdating mo, the next day, andyan na sa doorstep mo. So, I think yun nga, with the emergence of online markets, like, yung mga online selling on Facebook, yung Shopee, Lazada, yung mga online markets. So, talagang, naging mas madali. And, pag hindi mo kasi inisip yung mga bibilin mo, hindi mo na naiisip na parang, kailangan ko ba to? So, minsan, marami kang bibilin, but at the end of the day, after 1, 2 weeks, nakalimutan mo na siya, nakastock na lang siya sa cabinet mo. So, sayang yung and for lahat ng products na ginagawa, lalo na mga syempre galing sa China, galing sa mga factory. So lahat yon nako-contribute dun sa parang ecological waste or yung carbon footprint na dinadagdag natin na so parang from before, mga 10 years ago, siguro kung 50% ang carbon footprint na pinoproduce ng isang tao ngayon, siguro 75 to 80% na. So parang ganun. So I think, yun nga, medyo unsettling yung reality natin ngayon na dahil sobrang dali, which is not is okay naman. I mean, technology is better for humanity, for everyone. Pero yun nga lang, we have to, again, the old saying goes, think before you click. So, ayan.
Yun nga po. Very, very marami na kami napag-usapan agad sa first question and I think ang dami mo na din pong na-cover. So with that being said, do you think na V-Loved has shifted from that point of view?
Okay, so siguro before we delve into dun sa question mo, i-explain ko lang roughly ano ba yung business model namin?
Yes.
Ano ba yung mission namin? Bakit kami nag-start nitong business na to? Siguro yun nga ang business kasi namin is we sell pre-loved luxury bags. So technically, these are all second-hand, lahat to used na. But since it's luxury, nare-retain talaga yung value niya. Um, ito yung brainchild talaga na actually ng mom ko. So, siya talaga yung founder ng VLove. Um, talagang meron siyang love for bags. So, ever since nung bata pa siya, gusto niya talaga yung bags, gusto niya pangarap niya magkaroon ng luxury bag. And so, there came a time na nagkaroon na siya ng capacity to purchase a luxury bag. So, naisip niya, teka, feeling ko marami akong kapareho ko na nangarap dati na magkaroon ng luxury bag. Which is why she thought of putting up VLove para yung mga tao na magsa-start pa lang ng collection or matagal na nilang pangarap, madali nilang ma-achieve yun because we will provide them with second-hand luxury bags, which is like roughly siguro mga 30 to 50% of market value ng brand new price. So, yun yung isa sa mga naging mission ng mom ko, yung talaga yung thinking behind why we put up VLove. And at the second, and parang na to yun yung main na parang for our customers talaga. Yun yung kung bakit namin siya pinut up. But then, ang inisip din namin na, oo nga, we help yung circular economy, yung sustainability, na instead of, di ba, yun nga, sinabi ko yung mga customers na nagsistart pa lang mag-collection, yung iba doon would resort to buying counterfeit kasi mas mura, tapos mukha pang bago. Pero if you come to think of it, yung mga counterfeit luxury goods kasi, medyo sketchy yung production yan. May mga, let's say, may mga mafia involved kasi it's underground You can't sell counterfeit goods It's against the law. Tapos, it's made in sweatshop labor, yung mga underpaid workers, tapos yun nga, yung mga materials na ginagamit nila, hindi naman eco-friendly, some would contain toxic chemicals. So, yun yung isa din sa mga namin na instead of buying counterfeit goods, meron namang alternative na hindi ganun kasama pero halos kung magkano yung gagastusin mo sa counterfeit goods. Kasi pag bumili ka ng counterfeit goods, okay, magkano lang yan. Sabi 1.5, bumili ka sa online selling, okay, to, not guaranteed authentic yan. But it's counterfeit. Pero after a while, masisira siya, bibili ka na naman ulit. And that contributes dun sa overconsumption. So, bili ka ng bili, masisira ng onte, hindi ayaw mo na, bili ka ulit ng bago. So, parang bumili ka na rin ulit. Sa sobrang dami mo nang nabili ng luxury goods na fake, parang na lang din, para ka na lang din bumili ng brand new over time. Unlike kapag luxury goods, you can buy it dito ng pre-love and pag sawa ka na, you can sell it back. Kasi nga, yun nga, we contribute doon sa circular economy. Pag hindi mo na gusto, and because luxury goods talaga are maganda talaga yung quality, hindi siya madaling masira. So talagang mahaba yung buhay niya, pwede pa siyang ipamana sa mga daughters nila, yung daughters nila pwede pa ipamana sa second generation. So talagang you get your money's worth buying authentic luxury bags.
Yun nga po, on that note, our generation today are actually booming with vintage. So, do you think na mas maganda po i-consider ang pre-loved luxury bags for purchasing vintage fashion stuff?
Yes, definitely. Kasi maganda nga yung generation nyo ngayon na may appreciation dun sa vintage or what I call yung mga old souls out there. Yung nagagandahan sila sa mga vintage styles, yung mga nakikita nila sa mga old movies, ganyan. So, yung may piquing that interest ng vintage bags, binubuhay nyo yung second-hand luxury business. Lalo na yung mga influencers na, I bought this from ganito, ganyan, and then papakita nila na it's vintage, it's minsan sabi, tawag nila grailed or something or ayun. So binubuhay niyo yung second hand and then you're prolonging the life of the item. So iisipin niyo 10 years, 15 years ago ginawa siya ng artisan dahil nga maganda yung pagkagawa. Tapos kahit nakalimutan na siya ng first owner or yung original owner, nagkaroon ng interest yung another generation for that bag. So tumagal yung buhay ng item. So with that, hindi ka na instead na bumili ka ng bago, hindi ka na pinatagal mo yung buhay ng bag na yun. And with that, I think na syempre, mas less yung carbon footprint na dinadagdag mo
True.
sa Mother Earth.
That's a very wonderful answer, huh? Pero on that note, kasi pag-iisipin natin vintage, yun nga po, gawa sila ng mga craftsmen, mga artisans. So, usually kapag mga sinaunang panahon, I may say, no, joke lang naman. Hindi naman ganun siguro. Pero since medyo nga gawa siya nung older generations, baka mamaya limited lang po yung mga vintage bags na pinoproduce nila. Paano po kaya kapag promote ng influencer yung vintage product na yon? Paano naman po yung iba na gusto din makakuha ng ganun? Saan po kaya sila pwede mag-source or at least paano po yung mga mauubusan ng stock?
Ayun, pag vintage kasi, hindi na siya kapareho ng what you see in stores. So, harder to find siya. Especially may mga certain styles na talagang harder to find na. So, definitely, kung ipinomote siya ni influencer na yung type na yun, yung bag na yun, may kamukha, pero baka not necessarily that style. So medyo talagang mahirap lalo na in the second-hand luxury business. Mahirap mag-source ng I want this in that color, in that size. Medyo mahirap 'yun. So you have pag vintage kailangan meron ka ng mindset na baka hindi ko makuha yung exactly ganito. But I can settle for something like similar. So ganun. Hindi siya kasi nga hindi na siya in production eh.
Yes.
Matagal, it's a very long time since mass produce siya. And some, hindi naman nilet go. Some, nilet go na or medyo well-loved na yung bag. Hindi na nice tignan. So, tsaka lang siya, yun, tsaka medyo nagiging mas mahirap. But then again, ang gusto ko din sanang ma-impart, especially sa mga viewers niya na, it's okay to wear vintage, to wear second hand. Hindi naman nakakabawas yun na, ay, luma na yung bag niya or ano. It actually, yung, at least, pag nakakita kayo ng vintage, may gumagamit ng vintage bags, maisip niyo, sustainability or, naka-help siya kay Mother Earth or something. Parang gano'n. So, and again, yun nga, it takes really, a high sense of fashion style to carry vintage bags, ganyan. So, medyo mas, kumbaga, mas fashionable ka pag gumagamit ka ng vintage styles or mga vintage bags. Like for example, one of our clients, si Miss Bella Padilla, hindi siya bumibili masyado ng mga like really new, kung gusto niya talaga yung mga vintage. So, but then pag nakita mo, she's very glamorous. Pag she recently wore yung bag na she bought from us in an interview. And so, hindi mo akalain na it's a vintage na bag. So, ayun. I guess it takes really unique or a high fashion sense for you to appreciate mga ganong styles of bags.
Understandable. So, on the same context, what is overconsumption to you and how do you think the deserve ko to mindset among Gen Z is shaped by the factors like stress, loneliness, or the need to belong in a world where we constantly bombarded with newness online?
Sa mga Gen Z na, I deserve ko to. Wala namang problem doon. Maganda yon na you reward yourself for na something you worked hard for. Hindi lang maganda. Yung parang naging over na. Parang, I deserve ko to. Deserve ko to. On a daily basis na. So parang, yung reward system, hindi na siya nagiging reward. Parang, kumbaga pag paulit-ulit mo siyang sinasabi, nagiging normal na siya. So, would it still be rewarding if you do it every day? So,
Parang
parang ganun.
nagiging reason na lang siya to buy something.
Oo,
you
parang
want.
ganun. So, which is actually, yun nga, maganda yun na meron silang goal in mind, na meron goal-oriented na yung generation ngayon na if they want, okay, deserve ko to, ganyan. So, ayun nga. And a lot of our clients, then, they buy second-hand luxury bags or accessories, ganyan. Parang reward din sa sarili nila. So much expensive eh. And then, let's be honest, expensive siya. Pero at the same time, hindi naman siya ganun ka um, as expensive when you buy a new one. Although, we don't discourage buying new. Kasi syempre, pag binenta mo din naman yan, mababalik din yan kumbaga sa circular economy, dadaan ulit din yan. Possible na dumaan din ulit yan sa villa and we would sell it to another person na feeling niya, deserve niya yun. So, naging deserve mo na una, so yung may reminder lang na pwedeng may ma-deserve din ng another person in the future. Parang ganun.
How we can tell the difference between a genuine connection to something and trend-driven impulse that might just lead to overconsumption.
Well, I think yung yun nga yung sa yung back to my first point na parang lahat mabilis na bibili. Feeling ko yung para lang siguro mindset na lang ng person na if you really, you think it over before you purchase something. Oo, medyo mas well off na tayo ngayon compared sa buhay before na hindi ganun kadaling bumili ng mahal pa siya for a lot of people, ganyan. Pero ngayon na marami ng opportunities, mas madali ng you have the money to buy, you think about it muna before you buy. So you think before you buy, kailangan mo ba to? Kung deserve ko to, ano yung ginawa ko para ma-deserve ko yun? Parang gano'n. So, again, it's a personal choice. It's something na if you feel na you deserve, pero as long as either pwede mo pa siyang i-resell in the future or talagang you will keep it na for good. Parang
Gusto ko lang po magtanong, like, additionally kasi for us Gen Zs, mahirap po talaga yung, deserve ko to. Kasi kahit minsan, hindi naman namin deserve. May magsasabi sa paligid namin na, deserve mo yan, bili ka na. So, paano po talaga siya, like, mamamanage, make you po, if may mabibigay kayo?
Influence.
siguro, as, parang siguro on, kumbaga, medyo financial advice na to. But, what I always say is, hindi naman tayo kumikita or, ngayon kasi college pala kayo, so you get your money from allowances, ganyan. But, in the future, pag nagtatrabaho na kayo, nagtatrabaho tayo not because gusto natin yumaman, pero nagtatrabaho tayo because yung money that we've worked for would free us, yung hindi ka nakaasa sa ibang tao. So, if may magsabi sa'yo na, deserve mo yan, or it will be your personal choice. But to manage it, isipin mo na lang din siguro yung bigger picture. Or do you see yourself still wanting this item like 5 years from now? Or if it's not too expensive naman, a year from now, 6 months from now, gagamitin ko pa ba to? So, yun eh. And also, yun nga, yung control, budgeting is one thing na pwede mong ma-shut out yung voices in the back of your head na sinasabi, deserve ko to. So, yun, budgeting is very important, lalo na, alam ko malapit na kayo graduate and pag nag-work na kayo, ayun. And then also, try to ask your friends, ganyan. Minsan yung validation kasi, sa tingin mo, bagay ba ito sa akin? Bagay ba ito sa akin? Kung magagamit, sa ko kaya ito magagamit? Kumbaga, ilang beses ko lang kaya ito magagamit. Kunyari, you bought a 10,000 peso bag. Naisip mo gamitin siya sa pang-event lang or magninina ka sa kasal or something or sa binyan. Magagamit mo lang siya once, twice in 3 years. So, ang return on investment mo nun is very low. Unlike if you buy this, oh, gagamitin ko to pang office. You buy this bag, kasya dito yung laptop ko. So, yung daily na yung return on yung on your investment, mabilis siyang ma-consume. So, pag nagamit mo na siya, you can say na, okay, pwede ko na to i-let go. I'll just resell. Ganun. So, at least bumalik yung pera and then, ano,
I think that's a very nice example, especially for us girls. May tinatawag kami na girl math. So, parang same din siya sa context ng ROI, return on investment. And I believe na another example to this is me personally buying denim pants. So, hindi ako usually bumibili ng brand new pants unless thrifted siya or something. Pero, meron talaga akong specific pants na gustong bilhin noon, like last December. So, inisip ko talaga siya very thoroughly for like a week or so. Kasi sabi ko, hindi pa kaya ng budget ko, kailangan ko pang pag-ipunan. Nung napag-ipunan ko na, tas na-purchase ko na siya, kasi sabi ko parang magagamit ko siya more than once, more than twice. Kasi it's a necessity for me, since it's a denim pants na magagamit ko almost every week. Kasi may classes kami na hindi muna kami gagamit ng uniform since heat index, etc. So, ayun, ngayon nagagamit ko siya very well. And I think yung ROI ko ngayon is parang 0 na. So, parang in girl math, if I use it weekly on a daily, if I use it weekly, parang 0 na yung expense ko on that product. Kasi nga, na balik ko na yung usage niya. Nasulit ko na. Yes, nasulit ko na. So, on that same sense, we often buy things to perform a certain lifestyle for the internet. Ayan, for the internet naman tayo. But lifestyle isn't always our reality. How can we practically audit our own motivations and ask ourselves, am I buying this because it adds value to my daily life, or am I just paying for a prop to use in a 15-second video?
gets ko yung question. Yung iba kasi, yun nga, yung impulse buying, kasi pang ano ko to, pang Instagram ko to,
True.
pang story to na, nakabili, especially in the context of luxury bags, no? Papakita ko kasi naka-Gucci ako na bag, ganyan. But, if it's just, for the gram, parang, okay naman, nothing, if you're an influencer, yun yung yun yung, kumbaga, doon mo kinukuha yung living mo, okay lang yun. Pero if you're like a normal person lang, para doon ba talaga, maganda ba na para doon yung purchase? Or, I bought this para madala ko sa office and I feel confident every day knowing na I have an authentic luxury bag. And alam mo, minsan kasi, for a lot of people, pag nakasuot sila ng luxury bags or alam nila na original or may say yung bag nila, it boosts their confidence. So if you're in a meeting, ikaw yung magpe-present ng meeting and kinuha mo yung laptop mo from your Gucci bag, parang it adds oomph to your confidence. Kumbaga parang you walk 2 inches higher because of what you wear, of your bag, ganyan. So, kung yun na, may mga naman kasi, may mga investments na hindi siya na-measure based on physical money na dumadating na pumapasok sa iyo. But sometimes yun yung mga unknown na benefits of purchasing items, especially mga pag inisip mo kasi sa totoo lang, this is not yung luxury bags are not on the kumbaga yung yung hierarchy of needs, Maslow's hierarchy, wala siya doon. Nasa pinaka siya least important. But then again, if it will add confidence sa'yo na mas magiging confident ka sa work mo, and in return, pag mas confident ka sa work mo, mas magiging efficient ka, productive ka, and it would lead to a promotion. So, diba? So, what's stopping you from buying luxury bags? Ganyan. So, you have to think kung, yun nga, mapapadali ba nitong bagay na to yung life ko? Parang ganun. Or would it make my life easier? Or would it add value to what I do? Parang ganun. So, you have to think about it. Yung mga maliliit na bagay, actually, yun yung mga hindi na pinag-iisip sa isipin mo. You bought a 50 peso scrunchie dahil cute siya. Pero yung mga small things, it adds up. Eh. So if meron ka pa naman na parang scrunchie or something laying around, why do you need to buy another one? So siguro yun nga, control over what you purchase talaga. Maliit man yan or malaki. Kasi yung mga yung small things add up easily. Yung mga malalaki, medyo mas pinag-iisipan pa yun. So medyo mas madali siyang i-control. Pero yung mga maliliit na bagay, yun yung mas mahirap i-control. So pag mas maliit siya na bagay, I think you have to give more weight to it. Kasi medyo parang, baka nabili ko na yan before or meron pa ako yan laying around the house or something.
So in short, para din siyang live within your means.
Yes.
Yes. So kami naman as college students, parang ginagamit din namin yung deserve ko to mindset and yung paggamit ng sweet treats as an excuse for us to compensate for our stress. Yung parang super haggard ka na sa school, super stressed ka na, pagod ka na. Tapos, after a long day, kailangan mo ng something rewarding. So, hindi ka naman syempre bibili ng something big and expensive agad-agad. But rather, you would treat yourself or me personally, I would buy a sweet treat niya. So, parang on a daily basis, stress naman yata ako, tayo, kami. Oo. So, parang araw-araw di kami bumibili ng sweet treats. And ayun nga, napansin ko din na nag-a-add up yung smallest things na pinagagastusan natin everyday tulad ng mga milk teas, yung mga cafe shops, sweet treats in general, or at least yung mga pang-compensate nga lang ng stress namin. So, dahil hindi lagi kami nakakapag-compensate ng stress namin, what other ways can we do to prevent ourselves from buying unnecessary things?
Siguro yun nga, yung control over your budget. If your allowance is 200 pesos per day and you only spend half of it for or for yung mga commute, travel, your food, kanya. So you have yung 100, di ba? Pero yun, hindi naman necessarily kailangan na spend mo lahat yun. You still need to save some for emergencies. Tapos may mga bagay na kailangan ka sa school or something. So budgeting is really important. Siguro I'm not the best person to discuss budgeting, pero definitely yung ina-apply ko ngayon is I have to make sure that I have something na para kumbaga a rainy day account or something, parang ganun. So okay lang to spend, pero yun nga, yung if we're advocating for the yung pag-lessen ng overconsumption is think talaga before you buy. Yun lang naman yun eh. Do I need it? Yun lang naman yung golden question to that dilemma. Do I need it? Yes. Why do I need it? Because ganito ganyan. Would it add value to yung para may yung flow chart na question. So siguro gawa ka ng ganun sa sarili mo para ma-direct ka doon sa will I buy it or will I not buy it? Parang ganun. Yun lang yun eh. Kasi each and every person, iba-iba talaga yung needs nila, iba-iba yung makakapagpasaya sa kanila, parang ganun. So, walang general rule. May general rule. Yun lang, yung do I need it? Yes or no? Parang ganun.
So, nasabi niyo nga po, like, buying second-hand items, nakakatulong talaga siya sa earth and sa pockets ng mambibili. So, how do we shift the mindset so that buying second-hand, like setting limits and valuing thoughtful consumption become the smarter and more aspirational choice?
Lagi namin sinasabi sa mga client natin is if yung value ng item na to is already ito na yung price na selling price niya. Yun na yung pwede niya maging value 3-5 years from now. So huwag matakot na bumili ng second-hand luxury bags kasi yung value niya is stagnant. Actually, possible pa nga na tumaas yung value. So we have certain styles of bags na nire-reissue ng, ng house ng mga brands. So, pag nire-issue nila, tumataas yung value. So, if you bought it from us ng mga 10,000, probably if by chance ma-reissue siya, it could go up as much as 50, 60,000. So, sobrang malaking return, more than the return on your investment. Talagang kumita ka talaga. Parang ganun. So um, being in the second-hand luxury business kasi, talagang we're more on into yung circular economy. So I can just focus on yung last question, yung control, yung pa, paano ba natin mapipigil yung sarili to purchase more and more and more? So feeling ko lang may dalawang klase ng buyers kasi yung someone na impulsive buyer and someone who are collectors and both buy large, madami klase ng bags. So, yung collectors, ito yung passion nila. Yun yung nila, what's drive them to work further. Ay, para makumpleto ko, mga happy na, yan, makumpleto ko yung mga toys, ganyan. Pero pag adult to, meron siyang, may aspiration siya to complete something. And buying it completes them. So, may ganun. Meron naman mga impulsive buyer. Ito yung mga bumibili out of will na, ay, gusto ko to, ang cute na design na to, would fit perfect for me. But then, hindi naman, yung parang at the end of the day, pag nasuot na nila, hindi na sila happy, pupunta sila sa another. Pero what's nice about being, yun nga, in this circular economy na part kami nun na yung sustainable yung mga products, you can resell it. You can meron kaming tinatawag na golden circle. So every time na you buy from us, you can, for 1 year, tapos gusto mo nang decided na to let go na, or gusto ko iba naman, we will accept the item if it's in the same condition. Tapos, you can buy another one from our collection. So talagang paikot-ikot lang. Pwedeng every 3 months kung gusto mo magpalit ka ng bag, possible. So, no questions asked kung yun, basta meron lang siyang mga parang value. Depende kung gaano mo siya katagal ginamit. So, talagang paulit-ulit ka lang. And then, hindi siya nagiging nagko-contribute to overconsumption. Kasi, binabalik mo yung item na hindi mo na kailangan and then you will use another one. Unless you want to buy multiple, pwede mo rin yun. Lahat ng items, everything you buy from us, pwede siyang ipasok mo sa golden circle program. So, that's one thing na I think smart buying choices. Yung siguro yung advice ko to curb yung overconsumption. Yun yung question mo, diba? Yung paano ba natin mapipili yung overconsumption? Yun. Smart buying choices, which means yung yung pagbili natin, alam natin na either mariresell natin, may babalik natin, or may papamang natin. Hindi yung after a few gamit, wala na. Either ayaw mo na or sira na, ganyan. So, ayun. Yun yung number one siguro. Na pwedeng, and then yun nga, yung wise decision making. Yun yung sinabi ko, nagawa ka in your own mind, meron kang kailangan ko ba to o hindi? Magagamit ko ba to? Saan? Ilang beses? Ganyan. So, talagang you dive deeper dun sa every cent or peso that you purchase. Hindi lang yung basta ka lang bili ng bili.
So, magkakwento lang din ako na tama rin po yung sinabi niyo kasi ako rin, pag super dami na or feel ko, nag-exceed na ako sa budget kasi ang dami ko na nabili. Usually, binibenta ko yung iba sa carousel. And for that, kumikita rin ako. And nakaka-scroll din ako kung ano mas murang alternative for my wants.
Yeah.
So, it's very effective, guys. Going.
So yun, basically, yun yung talagang model of the business. Yung ginagawa ko yun, reselling, and then kami naman we buy if you want to let go of yung mga luxury bags na gusto mo na i-let go. If you have yung mga if your mom's bags, ganyan, gusto nyo na i-let go, nakikita mo lang sa cabinet, you can sell it to us. And then we'll appraise or you give your offer and then pwede natin siya ipenta. Tapos pag pwede dalawa yan buy out, we'll buy it outright and then consign it. So once it sells, you get the money. So, yun. So, talagang naging conduit kami doon sa mga sellers and then sa mga naghahanap ng mga buyers.
So for our last question, as you mentioned, your mother is the business owner while you are the general manager. If your main role is leadership, how can you please share, or please can you please share how can future entrepreneurs avoid falling into the trap of overconsumption, and how can they promote sustainability while still making a profit?
Yun. So, yun nga yung my mom po. So, in terms of yung leadership, wala naman, basically, we're more of a partnership rather than parang a hierarchical organization like what most companies are. So, we're more of partners together. I run the business, she funds the business. So, parang ganun siya. So, wala namang there's not much leadership. I get her, insights to run the business and what's the best way to move forward with this, ganyan, kung may mga problems. So, yun yung namin, yun yung partnership natin. And then I run it on the ground talaga. And then, yung next question is about,
Can you please share how can future entrepreneurs avoid falling into the trap of overconsumption, and how can they promote sustainability while still making a profit?
Ayun, I think yung, lalo na yung sa mga gustong mag-start ng business nila, siguro dapat i-consider na nila, lalo na ngayon, medyo yung global warming and yung mga environmental issues that we're facing, I think kailangan nilang isipin. Kailangan nilang, hindi lang yung basta, ay, gusto ko magbenta ng ganito, gusto ko mag-business ng ganito. Pero, doon sa oo, it's nice to have yung may ganong outlook na gusto mo mag-business, you want to help people, yung mga mag-hire ng tao na magde-depend on you. Yung maganda yun sa noble thing. Doing business is noble thing. Pero I think isa sa hindi pa masyado nako-consider ng mga budding entrepreneurs is sustainability. How can my business help doon sa pag-ease? I mean, maliit lang tayo. We're a small cog in this big machine na kahit maliit ka lang, if many of us do consider yung sustainability into our business practices, malaki yung contribution na yan. So, instead of just, buying, from suppliers na shady, using mga toxic chemicals or something ganyan that could hurt the environment, but or yung sa packaging na lang, very important, but tinapon mo tapos na. So, instead of yun lang yung hanggang doon lang yung gusto mo para to earn more profit, so you have to consider, pwede siguro pag medyo mas may return ka ng investment, kaya mo na mag-upgrade, try to think of innovative ways to put sustainability in the business process.
Okay, so before we officially end our podcast, we really want to give you the floor, Mr. Nigel. We've been talking a lot about the big picture of overconsumption, but V Loved is one of many brands out there that really shows the sustainable magic that actually happens in real life.
Right. We'd love for you to share the story behind the brand. As you mentioned, V Loved is the brainchild of your mom. How is your brand's purpose be credible and authentic so that our viewers can check out your business, and where is it located?
So, yung business namin, Villa, started really small in my mom's bedroom with her closet na shelf, na 2 shelves lang. And now we've grown bigger. Meron na tayong store here at Robinson's Galleria in Ortigas. And we're also online. We're chronically online 24/7 almost. So if you want to buy second-hand luxury goods, we're here. And if you want to be part of that sustainable, circular economy, buy pre-love.
Baka po pwede niyo kaming i-delve into the authentication process para alam po ng mga viewers natin na legit yung mga bags na binibenta niyo dito.
So yung authentication, we use Entropy. It's I think the leading authentication service. Although there are other authentication service, pero sila kasi they use microscopic device na would like for example, wait lang, kunin ko yung bag. Sorry. So yeah, for example, this is a Prada bag. So we use this device to scan talaga yung leather niya if it conforms doon sa original yung mga authentic bags na ano kasi even yung mga minute details like mga stitching, yung pagkasulat ng letter A sa Prada ganyan, it's ano siya madedetect niya and real time yung ano siguro mga within 1 hour malalaman mo na if your bag is original or not. So we use this to authenticate all items. So if you buy from us, lahat would have either Entropy or Legit Grills. Yung Legit Grills naman is another company. But yun sa kanila naman is, ito kasi mostly bags lang. Ngayon bags, apparel, shoes, ganyan. Pero may mga ano kasi mga accessories like bangles, ganyan. So we use another service for that. But definitely, this one, it has parang 98% accuracy and they have a financial guarantee. So if ever na nagkamali si Entropy, yung purchase price mo, they would cover it. So, definitely, ayun, 100% may guarantee lahat ng mga bags na thieves. That we said. Sorry, that we said.
Okay, I think that's perfect. So at least alam ng viewers natin na talagang legit si V-Loved and you can contact them through their website at www.vlove.ph. Tapos pwede nyo din sila i-contact through their social media handles at vlove.ph. And also you can visit their showroom here at Robinson's Galleria Basement 1. So we'll make sure na may lalagay namin siya sa aming description.
This brings us to the end of our conversation on overconsumption and the power of choosing pre-loved luxury as a smarter, more mindful alternative. We all have habits we don't always notice. But as we've seen today, our individual choices really do make a massive difference for our future.
You know, that's definitely true. And I'm really walking away with some fresh perspectives, especially with how Gen Zs can sometimes be unaware with their purchase habits tulad natin. And especially with the usage of deserve ko to mindset or even girl maths, we also need to think about the sustainability behind our buys to lessen carbon footprint and to really think about the purchase if it's either a need or a want. And we also have to base it off on responsible budgeting. And noting how V-Loved is a very responsible and sustainable with how the business model is selling pre-loved luxury bags. And they also promote smart buying with their Golden Circle program and consignments. So I think that's the end of our podcast. We hope that you enjoyed it as much as we did. And we sincerely thank you, Sir Nigel, for coming with us today.
Before you leave this podcast, we want to leave you with a simple thought to carry into your next shopping trip. It's not about guilt. It's about awareness, intention, and making choices that actually add value to your life. Because at the end of the day, pause and think before you spend. Too much waste harms Earth in the end.
We would also like to take this opportunity to give a huge thank you to our guest, Mr. Nigel Reyes of V-Loved, for sharing his expertise with us today. We also want to express our deepest gratitude to everyone who listened to Veragaya until the very end. We hope we were able to help you see the reality of overconsuming and how you can start lessening its effects today.
If you found this helpful, please remember to like and share this podcast to help spread the message. Your support for Veragaya is much appreciated. Until next time,
Stay mindful.
Thank you, V-Love, for joining Veragaya.